The high value woman checklist. How do you become a woman who not only attracts the love, commitment, and devotion of a man that she wants, but is literally attracting all of the good things she wants in all areas of her life? The wealth she wants, the abundance she wants, the lifestyle she wants, the care from everyone around her, because people start to see her heart. They start to feel her. They start to want her in their life. They don't want to lose her because of the type of woman she is being, and especially from a man's perspective. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today. If you don't know me already, my name is Brody Boyd with Magnetize Your Man, and for over 20 years combined with my wife, Antia, we've been helping thousands of successful women all over the world to get a loving, long-term, and committed relationship with a man they want fast. So let's go ahead and dive into what are these powerful principles to become this woman. So the eighth powerful principle here to be a high value woman is that she shares her feelings respectfully. Here's the thing. A high value woman believes that her feelings are valuable. It almost seems silly when I say it that way, but it's by default, almost by definition. She believes her feelings, her emotions, her heart are valuable and they are worth sharing. So if you're a woman who holds back her feelings because you're afraid of being rejected or hurt or having your trust abused or some other issue that you're afraid of potentially happening with your man or with people in general, you are communicating to the world that you don't believe it's safe to share your heart, that you don't believe also that your feelings are worth sharing. And instead, these type of women will tend to then go into manipulative behavior instead to actually get their needs met and to try to share their heart through guilt tripping others, through sarcastic comments, through passive aggression, or through just being resentful because nobody is really caring and nobody really understands what I'm going through and nobody wants to help. Well, the way we reverse that is to start to be a high value woman, meaning you believe your heart is valuable, your feelings are valuable, and you're able to share those using something as simple like an I feel statement, which is where we go into the respectful piece, because you don't want to just be going around everywhere saying like, you make me feel sad and you hurt me and what you said wasn't nice. That's going to just push people away because you are blaming them, you are criticizing them, you are attacking them in that moment. However, if you can respectfully share your feelings with something like, I feel sad, or I feel some anger coming up and I don't know what to do, this is an example of how to communicate that feeling in a way where it's about yourself, it's not about the other person, and they're able to feel it, they're able to understand and empathize what's going on in your heart. And of course, there's many other elements to doing this, which is why we teach magnetic feminine communication, to understand how to have these deeper conversations in a way that's actually effective and brings a person into your life. But when you share your feelings like this, you're allowing people to see your heart, to feel your heart, to empathize, to want to help, especially a man. And that's going to communicate that you are a high value woman that believes your heart is worth sharing in that way. Now, the next powerful principle to be a high value woman is that a high value woman is okay with asking for help. That is a natural byproduct of sharing your feelings. Once you are sharing your feelings, or if you have an emotion coming up, that you are able to ask for help with that feeling, or you're able to ask for what you desire or what you need. Respectfully is the key again here, because otherwise it'll turn into telling people what to do, penetrating them energetically, perhaps being in your masculine energy. However, if you can ask vulnerably and respectfully for what you desire with a simple statement such as, may I ask for a phone call, or may I ask for a hug, or would it be okay if we spend some time this weekend? That's a different example of asking for help respectfully. It could be anything in your life, especially if it's something you actually need help with around the house, with your computer, with your car, with your finances, with your career, with your health, with a family situation. How can you find more opportunities to, rather than say, I can do it myself, I'm a boss babe, I don't need no man, I don't need anybody else, you can actually say, may I ask for some help? Could you help me with this thing I'm dealing with? Or can I ask you a question about something and get your advice? Now, these opportunities create a situation where a man can then help you and feel like a hero and actually come closer to you and feel empowered that he has some value to offer you because you value yourself. You value yourself enough to believe that you're worthy of getting that help. You're worthy of asking for it. That you don't need to tell a man what to do. You don't need to nag him or criticize him or try to control him. Instead, you can vulnerably ask because a high value woman believes that when she asks, She is worth getting that help. She is worth having a man devote to her. And she is, in fact, worth nothing less than devotion. So when you can believe that about yourself and prove it to yourself through that act of asking, that is what communicates to the world you are high value and you should be helped. You should be served. You should be given all the good things in life because you must deserve it because you're asking for it respectfully. You must be used to that kind of behavior, used to the princess treatment. So the next powerful principle to be a high value woman is that a high value woman is not a doormat or a biatch. I don't know if I want to necessarily say the word because some women get very triggered by that. I know it can be a triggering word. And part of it is because I want these words to trigger you a bit because we want to see what the polar opposites are of a high value woman. We have on one side, we have the doormat, which is a woman who doesn't speak up. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't believe she is valuable. So she just stays quiet. She just complies. She goes along with whatever people ask of her. She's a people pleaser. And she sacrifices herself in hopes that she'll get some kind of love or liking or some gifts or some support or some protection. And so she basically sacrifices herself, and the message she's communicating is primarily, I don't believe I'm valuable. I don't think I'm valuable, and you shouldn't treat me as valuable because I'm not. And you're not asking for what you want. You're not communicating properly using magnetic feminine communication. And so you're simply being disrespected, being disvalued, and being disloved, if we'll make that a term. You're unloved because of that lack of value. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum here, we have the B word, we'll say. The B-ouch. B-ouch. We'll call it B-ouch because it is ouch. It's ouch to other people and it's ouch to yourself, really. So what the B-ouch does is she is not believing she's valuable. She's not believing she's really worthy deep down. So what she does is she goes into control mode and she starts telling people what to do. She starts being resentful towards them. She criticizes them. She yells at them. She emasculates them. She is disrespectful. She is uncaring. She is unkind. And she's only focused on getting her needs met because she doesn't believe that people want to just give her what she wants, what she needs. She says she's not worthy of just getting it, so she has to basically fight for it. She has to eke out a living. She has to battle and compete with men or with other women, with her family, even with her friends, in order to get her needs met. Again, coming from that base belief that she doesn't believe she's worth having that and she's valuable enough to have that in her life just naturally because of who she is. So we want to avoid these things. The high value woman does not go to either of these ends of the spectrum. What she actually embraces is the middle ground, which is the queen, which we talk a lot about in our coaching and our programs of how to actually encompass being high value in all areas and taking the best of both of these two energies, these two archetypes, leaving behind the bad and becoming fully expressed and fully embodied and authentic, which is the key. The fifth high value woman principle to understand is that a high-value woman values her self-care. So she proves to others that she is valuable and that she is worth love because she loves herself, because she values herself. And that means in all those moments when you're sitting around waiting for a guy to text you back, or he's not stepping up, he's not committing, or you're just uncertain where this relationship is heading, what are you doing in those moments? Are you just sitting around thinking about him, wondering what he's wanting, what he's doing? Is he with another woman? Is he pulling away? Have I screwed up? Did I say something that he didn't like? Was I talking too much, etc.? So you're looking into all these different ways that you might have caused issues or that he might be having an issue. And what you're doing in that moment is you're in masculine energy. You are focused on him. You're externally focused when feminine energy is internally focused. You're also in your head rather than being in your heart, where your feminine energy lives, in your core, your magnetic feminine core, really. And so if you are not taking care of yourself, instead, you are in that masculine mode. You will push a man away. You will push people away. So you got to shift instead to, how are you feeling right now? What do you need? What does your body need? What do you want to do? That's a powerful question to ask yourself in any moment. What do you want to do right now? What feels good to you right now? And get to a place of authentic desire rather than what do you need to do to manipulate him or to come from a place of fear that you have to do something, otherwise you're going to lose him or you're going to lose an opportunity. Come from that place of abundance and desire and ask yourself what feels good to you, and find those activities, ideally, that you can do every day or every week that really feel good to you, that lift you up, where you feel better while you're doing the activity and then also after the activity. So it could be something like walking out in nature, getting some sunlight, going into some water, or being around water, swimming, sailing, just looking at the ocean or some beautiful rivers or some natural landscapes around you. It could also be reading your favorite book or a show that you love that's lifting you up, not pulling you down. Like you're doing here, you're investing into yourself. You're watching a video that's helping you understand yourself at a deeper level. That's a huge element of self-care. Right now, you're internally focused. You are working on improving yourself, your core. And it could be taking care of basic things around your health, your beauty, your family situation, your social situation, your dating situation. So making sure you're eating enough clean foods, that you have social activities on your calendar. Ideally, I would recommend going to one social event every week to make sure you're implementing a social connection other than just the man that you're focused on, and that you're also getting around people and environments that lift you up, that you can connect to and share some of your feelings with, just like we have in our magnetic feminine communities, that we have women that are just constantly lifting each other up, sharing with each other their wins, their updates, going through the challenges together, and supporting each other along that journey. So having a community or a mentorship or a mentor that can lift you up in that process is going to be very key as well. That'll make you so much more empowered and filled to that place of magnetic feminine energy that starts overflowing within you, and you become the flame to the moths and the sun to the planets. Now, the fourth high value woman principle is that she doesn't commit until committed to, which means if a man isn't exclusive with you, if he hasn't asked you to be his girlfriend, if he hasn't asked you to be his husband, then why are you treating him as if he has asked you those things, that he has committed to you in that way? Now, there is one caveat with this, where if you believe that he authentically sees your relationship as boyfriend and girlfriend, and he authentically is exclusive with you, even though you haven't had that conversation, then that might be an okay time where, yes, you can commit to him because he's committed to you through his actions, even though you perhaps haven't verbalized it yet. But if he's still dating other women, if he's still not really helping to meet your needs and take care of your heart, and especially if you haven't had those exclusivity conversations, then you do not want to give him that girlfriend level privilege when he is not giving you a girlfriend level commitment. So that means that you continue to build your social life. Now, if you have an issue with seeing other guys right now, you may be like, well, I don't really want to date because I really like this guy. Well, then don't think about it as as dating. Gating would be something different. That's for a whole nother business, really, a whole nother video. But yeah, so basically you want to see it as you are just socializing. You're just socializing and having fun. You are putting yourself out there and being open to new connections, which can come from any direction. And if you meet a guy while you're out and you have a good conversation and he asks you for your phone number, it's up to you. If it feels good to you, you can give him your phone number and go on a date. And the reason why this is actually an act of self-care is because you're not relying on getting all of your emotional needs met from this one man. Now, I'm not recommending sleeping with a bunch of guys because that's going to get you into more problems, likely. So you want to just focus on getting a long-term commitment, but opening yourself up to the possibilities that other high-quality, amazing men could come into your life so that you can see the world is abundant. You don't just rely on this one guy to be your end-all, be-all, and you're authentically opening yourself up to possibilities because, hey, it may not work out with this guy. This guy that you really like, he may end up being a broken man. He may end up not having any care for you. And if you waste another couple weeks, couple months, couple years, hoping for him to change, hoping for that commitment that doesn't come, you're going to be in a tough spot, especially once it ends up being very clear that he doesn't want you, he doesn't want a relationship, he's not able to for whatever reason, and now you're starting back at ground zero. Rather than having a life already built up in that process that you love, of social activity, of people that lift you up, potentially other male attention that is showing that you are a quality woman, that you are a valuable woman, that other men want you. Now you're in a better situation that you can have ultimately what you really desire, which is a loving, long-term committed relationship with a high-quality man. It may not always be the specific man you have in mind right now, but hopefully it will be, and we'll help you with that if that is something you're really committed to. Now, the next powerful principle of a high value woman is that she doesn't tell, command, or control. A high value woman believes, again, that she deserves it, that she's worthy of having what she wants, that she's worthy of people just giving it to her because she asks. Now, you might be saying, well, I don't want to have to ask. He should just know that that's a normal thing. He should just know that I want that. He should just tell that I'm upset, or he should just tell that that's important to me. Well, here's the thing. Masculine men are not as emotionally attuned as you are because they're wired differently. We don't have the same emotional components and hardwire that a woman does. That doesn't mean we can't be somewhat emotionally attuned and understand your feelings and understand what you want and read your mind to some extent. But it's going to be very helpful to most men when you can clearly outline what it is you desire in the right way, which again is where magnetic feminine communication comes into play. Because if you don't outline it properly, of course you'll get defensive, likely he'll close up and potentially pull away. But if you can outline and communicate your desires and what's going on inside your heart powerfully and vulnerably and from your feminine, a man will be compelled, typically if he's a healthy man, to want to meet your needs and to want to do those things for you, where you don't have to tell him what to do, you don't have to nag him, you don't have to try to control him or manipulate him to get those things met. From you trying to change him constantly, and he's like your project, and he's like this little boy that you have to just train and you have to just manage, otherwise he's going to fall apart or he's going to pull away. Well, that's not a healthy situation, and that's ultimately not going to give you what you want anyways, because how a relationship starts is generally how it will continue unless there's a lot of intervention like what we do in our programs. But we can help you shift that, and you can shift that by instead bringing the energy back to yourself, controlling yourself first and foremost, and learning how to be open with your heart and communicate your needs authentically, openly, vulnerably, and respectfully, so that a man will want to naturally give you those things. Because if you're telling a man what to do, if you're demanding things, if you're controlling him or trying to control him, you are communicating that you're not a high-value woman. You're communicating that you are a woman who has to scrape and to prod and to fight for everything that she wants in her life. And that's what you're living from. That's a story that has been cast over you. And we're going to cast it out right now. And we're going to cancel that story, cancel those words that have been spoken over you, and instead get new empowering words over your life, such as that you deserve to be taken care of, that you're worthy of being taken care of, that your feelings matter, and that when you speak up and that when you share vulnerably in the right way, people want to help you. You don't have to control them. They actually start to do it on their own. But they do oftentimes need that communicated because, again, they're not mind readers and they don't know exactly what you want or what to do in any moment, but you can help them with that in that sense. That's the only way you would help them, is by clearly communicating and then giving it up to him to actually do those things for you and meet those needs and be your hero. The second powerful principle of a high-value woman is that she sets boundaries with herself and has high standards. Setting a boundary with a man is controlling him. It's telling him what to do. It's saying, hey, you can't do this, or you can't talk to me like that, or that's not okay, or you have to stop this, or you have to do this. Do this instead. That's you controlling him. However, a high-value woman sets boundaries with herself, and she says, I can't be in a situation like this. I can't have a man talk to me like that. So she's using the I statement, and she's setting that subtle boundary with herself. It's a subtle difference to remove herself from a situation typically. I need some space. I have to take a break. I need to, I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'm going to stop talking to you right now. Can I ask if we can talk more about this tonight? Something like that, where you are setting that boundary, you're protecting yourself and you're protecting him in a way that's not telling him what to do and not trying to control him. You're controlling yourself. And then that goes along with the high standards, because only a woman who has high standards is able to even set a boundary, is able to even know what a boundary is. You have to have some basic level of standards for how you should behave in a relationship and what you should have in a relationship, what you deserve, really. It's about setting that minimum of care. And that's the basic standard I recommend setting for yourself, is that in any relationship, you are with a man who shows care for your heart over time. Yeah, he may make some mistakes, but he has to show care consistently over time in order for you to be okay with that relationship. If he isn't showing care for your relationship, meaning he's not wanting to spend time with you, he's not caring about your feelings, he doesn't want to help you with anything, he's not showing you any love or affection, then over time, if that doesn't shift, That's a big problem. And that's why we have our Magnetic Feminine 90-day challenge, because what I recommend is having a period of 90 days where you'll use what we teach you and apply it specifically to be the most magnetic, feminine, radiant, high-value, queenly woman you can be. And if a man doesn't shift over those 90 days, for one, I would be surprised. But if he doesn't, it's likely because he's a broken man or he just simply has no care for you. But likely, if he's not broken, and there's a lot of men that are deeply broken, and he has some level of care for you, which he will, which it sounds like he does, likely if you are interested in him, if you have any basic level of connection to him, then he's going to start shifting. He's going to start becoming more devotional to you. And if he doesn't, though, you have to set that ultimate boundary by being willing to walk away. Because that's the most powerful way you can hold your value as a woman, is that if you're in a relationship over time that is not meeting your needs, that is not at least getting some improvement, that there's some effort, that there's some steps on his part to make it better on his own without you having to tell him, but you can respectfully ask for things, then you have to get out. You have to be willing to move on. Otherwise, you're communicating that you aren't valuable, that you don't believe your needs are important, you don't believe your desires are important, and that you're willing to accept any kind of treatment. And that's what we call the doormat again. And the first powerful principle here of being a high-value woman is that she lets him give to her. So a high-value woman allows her man to give, rather than her constantly feeling like she has to give to him. I have to make him happy. I have to meet his needs. I have to manage him. I have to manage his perception of me. I have to make sure I'm doing everything right. I'm being the good girl. I'm being the perfect girl. And that's how I get what I need. I need to manipulate him to give it to me. Rather than a high-value woman believes, I'm just going to let him give to me. I'm going to keep my heart open. I'm going to communicate. I'm going to ask for those things that I want, but I'm just going to allow him to give, and I'm going to receive it graciously by saying thank you, smiling, or more powerfully, sharing how he makes you feel and what emotional impact he has on you. So to be able to give is a masculine energy. To be able to receive is a feminine energy. So if you want to be high-value, magnetic, feminine woman, you really have to practice working your receiving muscles and getting used to the princess treatment, getting used to a man taking care of you, giving to you, paying for the dates, paying for experiences, wanting to plan things, wanting to make decisions for you both, leading the relationship forward, wanting to protect you in different ways, wanting to solve problems for you in different ways. All the different masculine gifts that a man can give you to make you happy, that you're able to share your feelings around those things, you're able to ask for what you want around those things, and ultimately you're able to receive his gifts, his provision in those things. Just like in sex, where the masculine is giving, the feminine is receiving, you're able to receive, and then afterwards share your appreciation, maybe light up a cigarette. No, I'm just kidding with that. Don't smoke cigarettes, but you can share, oh, that was amazing, babe. Oh, that was wonderful. You made me feel so good. You made me feel so happy when you did this for me. I felt so protected. I felt so cared for. I felt so nurtured, etc., etc., etc. Then he gets to feel, oh, wow, I did a good job. I made her happy. I want to keep doing that. And I feel like now I'm valuable, because that's how a man feels his sense of value, is knowing he can provide and he can make you happy. So you got to allow him to do that. Otherwise, he's going to be stuck and you're going to be stuck in a relationship that doesn't really feel fulfilling to either of you. It's like dancing on the dance floor, but he can't lead you because you're just standing there and you're not willing to grab his hand. You're not willing to let him lead. And then, or you grab his hand and then while he's leading you, you're like giving him an angry face the whole time, or shutting down, or crossing your arms. Like, how can you dance with somebody like that? The answer is you can't. So to be receptive, to be open, is a massive feminine principle, and it's especially a powerful principle of a high-value woman, because you're communicating to the world, of course, I deserve to receive. I'm worthy to receive. I'm used to a man taking care of me. I'm used to receiving all the good things in my life, and let's have more of it, please. I'm ready for it. I'm open to it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's the way a high-value woman lives, is in that receptive, open space that compels a man to give and to keep on giving in a healthy relationship. So I hope this was helpful for you today. The high-value woman checklist, make sure to start practicing and implementing each of these steps in your life. Go through it again if you need to, make a checklist if you need to, and actually write it out. And I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll talk to you again in our next powerful video coming up very soon. Bye-bye.